everybody, and welcome back to the Arkham Files Season 3. I'm Dr. Henderson,
I'm Dr. Boose.
and today we're going to get into the case file of James Gordon Jr. What do you know about James Gordon Jr.?
I didn't know this character existed up until like a few weeks ago when you showed me. You're like, "Yeah, check this guy out. This guy's insane." And I'm just like, "Well, what about his insane?" And you said, "Well, we'll find out this episode." So apparently, this guy's
He
nuts.
is insane. Might be the scariest Batman villain. Um, I only knew about him. Oh gosh, I don't remember what it was. I learned about him from something. Oh God, I do not remember. I know he's got some Easter eggs in Suicide Squad Killer Justice League. There's some wanted posters for him, um, somewhere on the map. But I just know from hearing that he is like crazy. And I did some research, and it is indeed true. So we're gonna go ahead and get on into that. The case file of James Gordon Jr. James Worthington Gordon Jr., also known as J.J. Gordon, is the psychopathic son of Gotham City Police Commissioner James Gordon and his first wife, Barbara Eileen Gordon. In his early years, JJ is only seen as a toddler or a small child during Batman's early year tales, such as Batman Year One and Batman The Long Halloween. He was said to be currently living with his mother in Chicago until Scott Snyder's Skeleton Cases story. As a child, JJ showed tendencies of a sociopath. He was suspected to have killed others who taunted him. He left Gotham and subsequently disappeared. It's heavily implied that he went on a killing spree across the country. Let's see. As JJ continued going about killing people, he realized the law would eventually catch up with him, and he subsequently put himself on a program to test a new drug which could treat his condition and help him feel empathy. It did indeed help him for a while, but JJ began to reason that empathy was a weakness and secretly altered the drug to blunt his empathy further. Upon seeing Batman on a televised news report and realizing it was Dick Grayson, he decided to return to Gotham and face it. That was his early years. And then he really got his showcase in Skeleton Cases. This comic, and that's what we're going to talk about right here. Skeleton Cases. Gordon gets a phone call from Harvey Bullock telling him to go to the Gotham City Aviary. When Gordon arrives, Bullock informs Jim that the aviary cages are all automated from the control room, and there's some troubling video footage from the security cameras that Jim needs to see. Gordon sees the image of a man who resembles his son JJ. This troubling assumption begins to trouble Gordon, and soon he becomes haunted by the visions of past unsolved case files that involve murdered children. 15 years ago, Gordon was moving up the ranks with the precinct when he started investigating a string of 8 murders that involved a Peter Pan killer who would sneak into families' homes and abduct children from their beds, then murder them. Gordon apprehended the Peter Pan killer when he attempted to abduct a young JJ. Now, after 15 years, Gordon heads to Blackgate to interrogate the Peter Pan killer before he was released from prison. Gordon wanted to find out why the killer didn't go through with kidnapping JJ. The killer reveals that he was going to kill Gordon Jr. rather than abducting him because JJ gave the killer an ominous stare when he entered the boy's room. The killer also reveals that he murdered a young girl who was friends with Oracle before he visited Gordon's apartment. This revelation causes Gordon wonder about his son's innocence and what exactly happened to the young girl. Oracle has always been under the assumption that JJ murdered her friend because she saw him playing with her friend's house keys. Gordon has heard this story from Babs, but before now he doubts if Babs' story is actually true. There's a possibility that the killer took the young girl's keys and dropped them off at Gordon's apartment by accident. After his conversation with the Peter Pan killer, Gordon threatens the killer that he will be followed at all times in order to prevent another murder. Later that same day, Gordon invites Oracle for some coffee and talks to her about his findings. Oracle still sticks by her story and she leaves her father with lingering doubts, but then James Jr. appears from the other side of the cafe. James Jr. sits down with his father and explains his return to Gotham. He begins by apologizing to his father for the theatrics at the aviary. James tells the commissioner that his mother, Barbara, sent him to Arkham for a psychological evaluation, and the doctors clinically diagnosed him as mentally unstable in regards to exhibiting psychopathic behavior. However, the doctors prescribed an experimental medicine to help James in stabilizing his emotional imbalance. James also overheard Oracle's now this case file is a bit longer as it goes into a lot of detail, but I'm gonna go through it. I'm not sure exactly when it'll start getting into the crazy stuff he does. Let's see. James also overheard Oracle's convictions about him, and he swears to his father he's never killed anybody. Gordon still doesn't know what to think about his son until James informs him about his volunteer work at Dr. Tompkins' clinic. James Jr. leaves the cafe and asks that his father will hopefully find it in his heart to forgive him. For a while, Gordon feels this extreme sense of relief that his son is misunderstood, but he is changing for the better. When Gordon reaches his apartment, he finds a trail of blood. Gordon follows the trail to James Jr.'s old room. The trail ends in James's closet. Gordon opens the door and finds the body of a schoolyard bully that James Jr. fell victim to when he was young. It seems everyone was right about James Jr., even though Gordon tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. Gordon immediately goes to the clinic and finds Dr. Tompkins. Gordon confronts Leslie by demanding to know where his son is. Leslie informs Gordon that his son is a model volunteer because anything she asks him to do, he happily does. Over time, Leslie has given James Jr. more responsibilities like making nutrition runs for newborn babies who come from poor families. Gordon doesn't want to panic Leslie by telling her what he had found at his apartment, so he humbly asks her to call him the moment James comes in for his shift. Leslie agrees to Gordon's request, and she tries to calm his worries by showing him James's office. Let's see. I'm gonna skip through this a little bit. They find a vial of James's medicine. Releases a chemical into the brain that the patient, so that the patient can feel empathy. Um, Gordon takes one of the pills. Gordon gives Barbara the pill. Let's see. Skipping ahead a little bit. Um, just going into a lot of detail. Um, pill doesn't work on adults. Um, let's see. Okay. Leslie Tompkins made James responsible for the nutrition runs at her clinic. James Gordon Jr. has been putting the pills in the baby formula and giving it to all the newborns, ensuring their development into becoming psychopaths.
I mean to laugh, but oh my god.
Yeah. Just as Gordon reached the clinic, he's stopped by Detective Bullock, who has some really bad news. Bullock says the Joker's escaped Arkham and something horrible has happened to Gordon's ex-wife. Gordon acts quickly by warning Leslie about James, then he calls in a small task force to station themselves at the clinic and wait for James to return. Gordon must put the hunt for his deranged son in the hands of his brothers in blue while he accompanies Bullock. Bullock tells Gordon that he received an anonymous phone call from someone who said Barbara Gordon is going to die at the Gotham Plaza Hotel. Gordon and Bullock reached the hotel where Barbara was staying at, and as Gordon entered, he noticed a light coming from the bathroom. Gordon falls to his knees in tears because he has found his beloved ex-wife nude in the bathtub with a crimson smile across her face. Gordon rushes Barbara to the lab at Wayne Enterprises while Bullock calls on Oracle and tells her what has just happened. Oracle reacts by calling Dick and having him meet her father at the lab. They run tests on the mother while Dick injects the anti-Joker venom. Let's see. Gordon obviously wants Joker dead at this point.
Oh yeah.
They're looking for him. Let's see. I'm gonna skip past that. Um, they find Joker. He's mumbling to himself about being disappointed. They interrogate him. Joker starts off by complaining at the fact that Dick isn't the real Batman by saying, "You don't scare me, little bird." Blah blah blah. But he says that he was not the one that attacked Barbara. He hired someone to do it. And I'm guessing you can figure out where this is going.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, killed his own mom. I'm gonna skip this. There's a lot of detail on this. I didn't realize. Yeah, okay. Here it is. A doctor comes rushing and injects a sedative into Barbara, because she started screaming for help when she woke up. Gordon finally realizes that James Gordon Jr. infected the Joker venom into his mother as a way to get back at her for institutionalizing him, while at the same time he wanted Gordon to think the Joker was responsible for the attack on Barbara. Um, there's that. Let's see. Bullock drops Oracle off at her apartment doorstep, and just as she entered her apartment, James closes the door right behind her. James and Oracle enter a discussion about how depraved he is. James respects Oracle because she's the only one who can see him for what he is. Barbara replies to his compliment with a scoff. Oracle always knew James was disturbed, and most of those people that he has already killed are actually victims rather than people who had it coming. In short, Oracle realizes that James tries to find flaws or start something with another person so he can justify his violent tendencies. It doesn't talk about what I remember reading about him. Apparently, he stabs Barbara. I mean, his sister. Hang on, let me look. I was using a different source for this, so I have to um look up something to help me with information here. Um, yeah, okay. So, says here, he tortured animals and he would dissect them.
As one
Uh,
does.
yeah. Um, he tortured some boys to death for making fun of him. He mutilated a former bus driver's face in an alley with a box cutter. He burned Wayne JRC to the ground and killed nearly everyone inside. Um, he would later kill. Okay, here we go. Um, oh gosh, yeah, he showed signs of psychopathy, such as slicing open birds to see where they kept their eggs.
Nice.
He would later kill his sister's friend Bess and take her keychain for himself just because she made a one-off hand comment about him. After leaving Gotham, he went on a cross-country killing spree where he took pleasure in torturing hundreds of people and killing them, taking their keychain as trophies. While he was given an experimental drug that allowed him to feel empathy, um, didn't work. Let me read that. He paid some kids to free birds from the aviary to trick his dad into accusing him so they could claim nothing to do with it, gaslighting his dad to think he was innocent. Um, and apparently it's implied that he succeeded in his plan of turning all those children into psychopaths. He kidnapped his sister and stabbed her legs with 2 knives, ensuring that when he pulled them out, she would slowly bleed to death. He revealed to Dick Grayson his ultimate plan to break his spirit by corrupting all of Gotham's children and then killing his sister and father just to break Dick Grayson further, so that he would give up being Batman. He tried to murder his sister with a knife after she stabs him in the eye. Wait, what? He attempts to murder his sister with a knife, that she stabbed in his eye, apparently. And James stands out from all the other serial killers due to his brutal torture he puts his victims through before he kills them, and his unique way of trying to corrupt hundreds, if not thousands, of children. Um, and that, oh wait, is there more? Hang on. Yeah, he made in New 52, he made a cameo in Arkham Asylum in the new Batman title by Scott Snyder. Who stated he plans to continue James' story that he started in his previous run on Detective Comics, saying, "As for his presence in Gotham, he's someone I have some fun, dark and twisted long-term plans for." And that is the end so far of that.
I mean, I
That's
you
crazy.
think we'll ever see it? I mean, I would like to see like Matt Reeves like take on this character. I don't think we'll ever get it, but
Like Jim Gordon's son. That'd be interesting.
because I mean, like I don't know, man. I think it's the first one in a kind of a hot minute. It's kind of someone that's I never even heard of, because he's pretty recent. What year did you say he was?
I think it's in the 1987 is what I read.
87. Okay, so ain't that new, but I don't know. I don't know. I really like it. Okay, I'd like to see him in like a movie or
Yeah.
something, and just him go crazy.
Yeah, there's a here, I'll send this to you so you can see it on um recording here. Since it has to do with this. Hold on a second. Because yeah, like I said, he does have a reference in the Suicide Squad game, um, as part of a wanted poster, and I'll show you this so you can get a look at that here. All right, I am sending it. There you go.
Oh wow, yeah, James Gordon Jr.
Yeah, so he is out and about in the Arkhamverse. He is very unhinged. He
Again, to
likes
put it,
he likes hurting animals and children. That's basically
yeah,
his
there's nothing else to it. He's freaking nuts. I love him though. Besides that, he's crazy, but I
yeah,
want to
he's a
see him.
character that they haven't done much with.
I hope we get him soon in something because I think there's like some pretty good potential there for him.
Yeah. But yeah, that is the end of the case file of James Gordon Jr. And with that, I guess that would be the end of this episode of the Arkham Files. So thank you all so much for joining us for this one, the penultimate episode of the series. Next episode, if I remember correctly, let me make sure. I have to look at it here. Next episode will be the finale, and it will be the case file of Dr. Jeremiah Arkham. To end off the entire series. Yeah. So that'll be next week.
We'll be there.
Yeah. Yes, we will. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Thank you all so much for joining us for this episode. Go check out the other ones if you haven't seen them already. And we will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.
Let's see you.